Swole Norma, if your boy.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping,
Oh,
the
yeah.
bacon is sizzling.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome. Testing, 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 testicles, testing, testicles, testicles, yes, testicles. Ooh. Welcome everyone to episode 1216 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's up, beaches? What's up, booshes? What's up, busters, hustlers, and hoes? It's your boy Papa Swole, making some sick fucking gains live. Oh, I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Finally, had a fucking pump today. My God, it's about time that shit got back to normal. Nothing happened. I know the Bahamas don't exist anymore, so thoughts and gains go out to the Bahamas and people that are actually getting hit with this storm. So we hunkered down. We did all this shit. Literally nothing. Literally nothing happened down here in South Florida. Nothing. Like we had a little wind, it like sprinkled, and that was it. So it's a beautiful day today, and I'm glad that. And literally, it's like, it happens. It does that a lot. We get these warnings all the time, and the storms and shit like that. But this is the problem. I said this yesterday. Floridians. A lot of Floridians are stupid as shit. Like people in Florida are especially the natives. I don't know. People are pretty dumb in Florida. Florida is a very cesspool type place. However, it's beautiful weather, so we let it slide. But there's a lot of shit, a lot of shitty people down here, a lot of dumbasses in Florida. I guess a lot of dumbasses in this world, as we're going to see. And it seems like there's a lot of dumbasses in Texas too, according to what we're going to talk about today, one of the things we're going to talk about today. But anyway, so what happens with Florida is that nothing happens. We get scared and, oh my God, it's going to be a 5, it's going to be a 6, it's going to be a 10. And then nothing happens. So the next time it's like, whatever. All right. They warned us last time. They scared us last time. Nothing's going to happen this time. And then all of a sudden, bam, we'll get fucking raped. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but I'm glad nothing actually did happen, and when it really comes down to it, it's almost like you prepare for the storm. You want it to actually be, okay, give me some rain, give me some wind. But I didn't want to lose power. I didn't want to have destruction. I didn't want people to be displaced. So that no one wanted that, but it's like you kind of get all amped up. Okay, hurricane, everything's closed and all this shit goes up. Nothing. So, I think Florida's getting mostly rain. I don't know if anywhere in Florida really got hit bad. Is that true? Did anyone get actual storm action in Florida? Is anywhere getting actually hit? Or is it just kind of like, tropical storm type stuff? How is it in Jacksonville? How is it up there? How is it up there? I don't know. We didn't see anything. Beautiful today. Outside getting a tan, getting some sun on my fucking tits. Papa Swole was outside walking, took a nice little pee. Look at her over there. What's up, baby girl? Baby girl. Say hi. Say hi to people on the Mancast. Say hi, mama. Yeah, say hi. You're on live stream. People are watching you. They want to see your face. Yeah, you sexy girl. So she was good. She was good through the storm, or the lack thereof. So a little bit of a letdown. We thought things were going to go down. Didn't. But it's all good. You see? I know. I'm telling everyone, go watch that Dave Chappelle special. It's fucking hysterical. If you don't think that's funny, if you don't think Dave Chappelle's special is funny, I'm sorry. You need to get your humor fucking looked at. You need to work on your sense of humor. I know it's very subjective and comedy is very subjective and not everyone's going to like everything. But if you got offended by that, you're a fucking pussy. You don't have to think it's like, maybe the delivery. Okay, that's unique. That's individual. But if you don't think it's funny, like the topics and the way you can appreciate it, if you get offended by that, you're a huge pussy. If you're offended by it, you're a huge pussy. You don't have to like the delivery though. Everyone's different. That's very subjective. You can't be like, well, you have to think it's funny. That's kind of silly, but it's fucking brilliant. From an execution standpoint, I've been talking about this for like a few days. It's literally from an execution standpoint, it's hysterical. I did watch most, if not all, of the Jim Gaffigan, the one on Amazon, and that was funny. I don't like the, it's a little bit repetitive with that kind of stuff, but everyone's repetitive. Everyone's style is repetitive. Bill Burr's hysterical. All that shit. Anyway, Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny. Anyway, okay, here we go. So we're going to talk about nutrition today. So what I want to do is kind of get into a little bit more of the elimination diet and just talk about it all, maybe in some kind of depth. I want to discuss it a little bit. So what I want to do is I want you to put in the comments below and start putting it down there and maybe repeat and put it down there again. I want you to put down there what foods that do not work well for your body, because I want to talk about the elimination diet. I want to kind of get it out there again. I want this to be something, part of the dialogue again, because yesterday we talked about, I think we went into the weeds with veganism. We talked about carnivore and stuff like that. And of course, people are like, I can't believe you said that carnivore was healthier than vegan. I'm like, look, a lot of people don't react well to just eating fucking grass. Okay. A lot of people don't react well to just eating all kinds of grains and shit like that. It's just not really how human beings have evolved. We didn't evolve like, wow, I'm so glad we created grains. Now we're humans. We're here because we had grains, and we're here because we started eating meat. We're here because we get a lot of quality animal products. I think you can have a balance, fine. But I do think obviously some people can react well and do well with vegan diet, and some people can react well with a carnivore diet. So it really depends. And there's also that adaptive quality with a human being. Maybe you can do both. Maybe someone could be a vegan. Maybe someone could be a carnivore. Maybe you can do both. So then it's a debate whether or not, okay, it's sustainable and whether or not it's good for long-term health. Like, we don't know all the details, but we certainly know that eating garbage animal products is not good. And a lot of people that, talk about how meat doesn't work well for them. They're eating garbage meat. They're eating just muscle meat from sick animals, and they're not eating nose to tail. They're not eating quality grass-fed or wild game. They're not eating organ meats. So they're not getting the nutrients that you should be getting from animal products. A lot of what you'll get, as we'll talk about with the Popeyes bullshit, you'll get animal products, which count as animal products, but you're also getting all the garbage that goes into them, and including the cooking style. So if you're eating Popeye's chicken sandwiches, you can call that, okay, you're eating meat, but you're not eating meat. That's junk food meat. That's junk food shit. So anyway, put it in the comments below what you have issues with, what you react poorly to, and we'll kind of dip into that a little bit more. So let's get into the bullshit, the funny, fun, while everyone's still coming in. So I said yesterday that someone was suing Popeyes. All right. Some fat fuck that drove all over Alabama or Tennessee, that couldn't find a Popeyes that had the chicken sandwich, somehow accumulated $1,500 worth of damage on his car, and is suing Popeyes for not having the chicken sandwich. Okay. If a store doesn't have a product because it's so popular, you don't sue them. They're not required to have the product. They have a product. There was high demand and it's sold out. Stop being a bitch. That's what I say. So this is going even further. That guy is actually an all-star compared to this fucking jabroni. Ready for this? If you thought that was bad, check this out. Popeye's customer pulls a gun after being told there were no more chicken sandwiches. So if you thought that Mr. Suey McSewerson in Tennessee that's suing Popeyes for having no chicken sandwiches, this guy actually pulled a fucking gun after being told there were no more chicken sandwiches. Pulled a gun. This guy, or I think it's a guy, pulled a fucking gun. Pulled a gun. I'll say it again. Pulled a fucking gun. All right. You see what fast food does to you, kids? You see what fast food does? Eat your vegetables. Fast food's the devil. It's the devil. Fucking Christ. Holy shit. Okay, let's read this. Because I have to find out. I saved this for all of you. I have not read this study yet. Or this study. Yeah, this analytical study. I have not read this yet. So let me bring my sexy self so you guys don't have to see the ads. Fucking bullshit. All right. People are going crazy for Popeye's sold out chicken sandwiches. Well, apparently. But this is taking it 3 steps too far. 3 steps. Okay, let's see what they say. Houston police say a group of customers walked into a Popeye's chicken restaurant Monday night and asked for some sandwiches. But the restaurant chain is all sold out. News the foursome didn't want to hear. The foursome. The group, 2 men and 2 women, grew angry, and that's when one man pulled out a gun. It's not funny, but it's fucking hysterical. It's funny. Come on, it's funny. It's funny in the most ridiculous, sad kind of way. Okay, the employees ran to the back of the restaurant, and the group, who police estimated range in age from 17 to 20 years old, ran out of the restaurant. They jumped into an older model SUV with a woman in the driver's seat. But they weren't finished. The group pulled through the drive-through lane and threw an empty can through its window. Oh my God. Oh, this is great. No one else has a black screen. If you have an issue, just come out and sign back in. No, we're streaming live. We're good here. Let's see. Always do that. If you're not getting audio or you're not getting a stream, just exit out and come back in. You'll be fine. All right. So they went back. They came back and they threw a can through the window. Let's see. The Houston Police Department said they're looking for any usable surveillance. Oh, they don't even know who they are yet, in hopes of making an arrest. Oh, come on. You don't have a camera. You don't have a camera in a Popeyes. Of all the places to have a camera, you think you'd have them like in a Popeyes and like Church's Chicken and places like that. People need their fucking fried chicken. That's addictive. Put them in Dairy Queens. You should have surveillance in every fast food. Any usable surveillance. How do you not have surveillance of someone pulling a gun in your restaurant? Especially nowadays. Okay. There have been no charges so far. No charges. Popeyes announced in early August that they would begin selling chicken sandwiches, sparking a nationwide craze. See, I didn't know they never had chicken sandwiches, apparently. I didn't even know this. Is that something new for Popeyes? I've actually never eaten at Popeyes in my life. I thought it was like a special chicken sandwich. So that's why it's a craze. So this is a new thing. I didn't even know that. I literally didn't even know that. I didn't know that they never had chicken sandwiches before. Why wouldn't they? How silly is that they never had a chicken sandwich? That's stupid. So that's why Wendy's was doing all that stuff. Wendy's was putting like jizz on their burgers. Didn't Wendy's do that? Wendy's did like a crossover with KFC or something. There was something. Or Cheetos. Cheetos did that. KFC did that with Cheetos. I did a video on it like a month or two ago. I forget. I didn't even know that. I didn't know they never had chicken. Why? You make fried chicken. You wouldn't make a fried chicken sandwich? Popeyes is just ghetto KFC. KFC is ghetto KFC. KFC is not like high dining. They sold out in just 2 weeks. So these people had 2 fucking weeks to get a Popeyes chicken sandwich. So they waited 2 weeks. They were sold out. And now they're complaining. They should have gone on opening day. The chicken franchise blamed extraordinary demand for the sandwiches after initially projecting its inventory would last until the end of September. They promised they'll be back soon. Oh, God. I don't know if this is good advertising for Popeyes. I don't know if this is good advertising for Popeyes or bad. I don't know if it's good or bad. It's like, shit, if I'm going to Popeyes, I better bring a gun. Isn't that crazy that you have to go packing everywhere now? You're going to get like a chicken sandwich. Well, I better strap in. Better bring an extra mag in case someone pulls a fucking gun at the counter. Shit. Imagine being an employee and you have to. So people are really hangry in Texas. Popeyes doesn't even have ketchup. You're going to put ketchup on chicken? You're gross. Ugh. If you're eating any of that shit, if you're eating KFC or Popeyes, you need to reevaluate your life. I'll say that right now. This is a daily fucking swole. I'll say the shit that you don't want to admit to yourself. If you're eating at Popeyes or KFC, you need to reevaluate your priorities. I don't care if it's 2 a.m. Oh, but what happens after you go out drinking? Haven't you ever done that before? Yeah, I don't opt for fucking diarrhea anymore. If you're eating at Taco Bell, if you're eating at KFC, if you're eating at Popeyes, if you're going to Burger King as a fucking grown adult, you need to reevaluate your life. You need to reevaluate your fucking life. Reevaluate yourself. Priorities. Imagine if they put that much energy into health and having a real job. What does that mean? A real job? You mean these people? How do you know? Maybe they don't. Maybe they have real jobs. Maybe they have two jobs. Maybe one of their jobs, maybe they took. And what if we come on? Let's think about this. Let's think about this for a second. Let's not jump to conclusions. What if these people? What if this quote foursome all took extra jobs because they were so strapped for cash they needed a second job to afford the Popeye's chicken sandwich, and they worked for months and months at this extra job, sacrificing sleep and social activities to save up enough money for a chicken sandwich. And then to find out it's sold out and they just snapped. Sympathize. Come on, let's go. The benefit of the doubt. Maybe they were just really, 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 really hungry. I've been hungry before. I've never been so hungry that I thought, let me pull out a gun. I don't think you're missing out either. I know I'm not missing out. I don't think I've ever had KFC. I might have had a piece. I don't recall ever going to like a drive-thru or anything. I might have had one or something. I'm sure I probably had something with KFC in it, like at some point in my life, like either someone else had one. I'm trying to think of like a memory, but you know how memories are. Memories aren't accurate. Vaguely. I used to do this. This is like probably, at this point, this is probably like 13 years ago or something like that. At least 10 years ago. I used to do like a weekly cheat meal. I would go to like Checkers or something once. I couldn't even imagine it now. I used to do that like once a week. I'd be like, hey, I remember when I stopped. I wasn't doing it for that long, but it was like one day. And it was always I always felt disgusting afterwards. But this is before I was eating like super. I really fucking got into elimination and I really kind of figured shit out. So this is like earlier on, a long time ago. And I remember I was washing my car. I used to wash my car every week and do all that kind of stuff. I used to have like a routine on Saturdays. You wash the car, I do this. So I went to McDonald's, I remember. This is after I like every week, like once a week, I would get fast food. Once a week, I would have like my cheat. Once a week. Oh, it's all awful. Yeah, Checkers, Rally. It's all garbage. It's all garbage. Like I can't even imagine eating it now. But this is a long time ago before I had my realizations and I really kind of took this shit a lot more seriously. I really got into nutrition and training, even doubled down harder on it. Because I think I told you a lot of like my backstory. I used to eat, I bulked up too much, right? I wasn't eating super clean. I had like acid reflux. I was eating, but I was eating chicken, but really low quality. I wasn't doing it right. Anyway, so I remember one weekend or one day or one Saturday or something when I was doing the car washing, my routine, I had gone to McDonald's. I had gotten a couple things off the dollar menu. I think it was a couple burgers and a couple chicken sandwiches or something. And I remember nothing else ever gave me like nasty heartburn or made me really feel like shit at this time. So Burger King was fine. Checkers was fine. But then I had this one day, I remember washing my car and after I had some food, I'm like, I had shortness of breath. I had nasty acid reflux, and that was like the last time. I was like, oh my God, never. So I never did that. Never did that ever. I never did that since. That might have been like the last time I really had fast food, to be honest. Yeah. It was bad. Ugh, gross. Gross, 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 gross. It would have been better if the Popeye employee pulled out a scatter shot. I feel like they could have. It's like, oh yeah. Gotcha. Should have all the Popeyes employees trained. Crack shot. A Grubhub ad before I got in. Oh yeah? Nice. Nice. I kind of like that. I think the audience is so smart. Listen to this shit, right? Check that shit out. You're getting fucking bullshit ads. It's good. Someone said they got a V-Shred ad. Good. Expose that fucking nonsense. Good. Charge his account for the view. Good. Fuck up his analytics. No one's going there. Anyone that watches this podcast should know that guy's a fucking joke. Papa, I made bone broth overnight. Overnight? It takes more than a night. Should be simmering that shit for like 2 or 3 days. I have bone broth going on in the other room. I put it on high all night and then I put it on low for like 48 hours at least. So you need a lot more than overnight. It's going to taste like asshole. It's going to be bland. And if you're doing bone broth, you have to make sure you also put in some apple cider vinegar. It'll help the nutrients leach from the bones and stuff. I downvote all. Oh, you can downvote commercials. I don't notice the ads. I know you could downvote a commercial or an ad. That's fucking good. American Samoa has terrifying numbers of obesity. What are those numbers? Oh. My dad used to bring me Taco Bell to school as a treat. Parent of the year, right? Well, look, I did a video today. Let's talk about nutrition more today. That's the title of this, the elimination diet and stuff. I did that video today about 8 passengers. How many of you saw that one? And I want to make this clear too. I said this in the pre-roll. I'm not criticizing parents for ever giving their kids and ever having pizza and ever having this, but I got to take an extreme position. I have to say things in a certain way to get people's fucking attention. You do realize that, right? Oh, you never have anything. I'm not telling you to be a fucking monk when it comes to food, but parents give their kids way too much shit. So when you see privileged families, okay, this person, this woman, this family, they have 6 kids or whatever it is, and obviously they have money because they're affording 6 kids. They have millions of subscribers and hundreds of thousands, millions and millions of views. So they're getting a ton of ad revenue on YouTube. Like they're well off. They have sponsors and shit like that. However, if you look at that, the reason like one of the issues or that with that video is when you look at that family and you look at what they were buying, that's not the average person. That's not the average family. Can we agree? That's not the average family. They don't have the average family income. They don't have the average family life. So what's the average family doing? Well, the average family, right? 2 out of 3 people are overweight or obese. Oh, they're Mormons? See, wow, shocker. That's why they have 6 kids. Huh. All right, that makes sense. That's not why they have 6 kids. They just have 6 kids. A lot of people have 6 kids that aren't Mormons. So it's like, but what my point is, if you have the average family, think about what the average family eats. That was really super healthy compared to what the average family feeds their kids. You know, fruit roll-ups and gushers and all those things. I know that. I saw that video. But that was what, from like 1990, 1998 or something? That was an old story that she covered, Michelle, with a 13-year-old dying at 608. Well, look, it's a true story, but that was a very old story. I didn't get the chance to watch the whole video. But yeah, it's very sad, but it's preventable. It's fucking preventable. Transforming Titus. By 2016, CDC prevalence of self-reported obesity. What are they reporting on, though? Anything self-reported is like, 75% of American Samoa adults are obese. Holy shit. That's even more than the United States. The United States is 2/3. 2/3 overweight and or obese. 75%. Well, self-reported, people always think they're fatter than they are, but I'm sure it's accurate. Why wouldn't it be, right? But thank you for that, Titus. Appreciate it. Mormons really pump out babies. My extended family is all Mormon. Going all the way. Ooh, I like that screen name. Way, W-E-I-G-H. So many people don't understand what average is. That's why I make the content that I do. I think people need to understand more. I'm very transparent with my content. Like when I make videos for the views. I don't hide that shit. Like when I do a sensational story, I'm nuts on chin or balls deep and I'm doing a topic, I'm looking for topics that are going to get clicks. I'm looking for topics that are going to get attention. However, the message is what's important. And the message has to be hard hitting because people are numb to the boring shit. If I come up here and I'm doing a podcast, everything in moderation. No, we're doing moderation now and we're fat as fuck. Moderation doesn't work. This kind of like dabble in everything doesn't work. That's why things are the way they are. So it's not the right approach. The message I know is getting through to all of you. That's why you're here watching. But I think those are the new people that come to the content. You can't say that. That's not fair to so-and-so. Oh, stop. I'm not trying to be fair. I'm not trying to make friends. not trying to make friends here. I mean, I'm fine if you want. Look, we're all friends here, right? We're having a good time. We're having a good time. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to be buddy-buddy. I'm here to send a fucking message and have some fun at the same time. So infotainment is what we do here. I think the message is accurate. People are fucking sick as shit. And kids eat garbage food, and it's back to school season. It's the perfect time for content like that. All the parents are buying food for their kids and Lunchables and all this shit, and there's pizza every fucking day at school. It's bad. It's bad. That's right. Topics that hit you like a fucking throat punch. I will toe punch you. I will cunt punch you right here on the Swole. You want to show up? Boom. Right between the puss and the butthole. If you're a female, and if you're a dude, you know what I'm talking about. Right under the sack. Ooh, that kind that makes you just feel like nauseous, like, and right when you get hit, you're like, oh, why? Oh, why? Why me? Why does it hurt, daddy? Why does it hurt so much? Why? Make the bad man go away. Make the bad man go away. I agree. Richard Goldberg. If 2/3 of America is obese and the average must be overweight. That's what I'm fucking saying. That's what I'm saying, beaches. For real. For real. Well, most people are average. Most people act average. And if you want to be, look, I have this card on the wall. I read this the other day, or not the other day, but I did this in the pre-roll, like the quote of the day on the wall. And it said, if you want to be an anomaly, act like an anomaly. Like if you want to be different, if you want to be outside the box, and if you want to be revolutionary, then guess what you got to be? You got to be outside the box. You got to be revolutionary. And I'm not really revolutionary in that sense. I'm doing things my way, but I have my opinions. And if you don't like them, then that's okay. You don't have to like my opinions, but you can't stop me from saying them. You can't stop me from saying them. You can't make me. Make me. Do it. Fine. It's all right. I'm very transparent. These are my opinions. Shocker. It's my fucking podcast. I just don't want to pussyfoot around issues that are really causing people problems. See, there you go. I don't even know who this is. I wish I could pronounce that. I'm going to try to pronounce it like an American because that's what? Russian? That's Cyrillic. The alphabet, I'm assuming. It looks like Anahan. Anahan and is that your name? Anahan and So Anahan and says, I don't know, I'm kind of a baby and you're intimidating at first, but I like you a lot now. Thank you, Anahan and I appreciate it. And I hope you don't take offense to that because I have no idea what the fuck it says, but it's a cool language. I wish I had any idea. But you have like a building in your name. There's like a little building on a cart, and then there's the pi symbol. You have a backwards N there. That's cool. Then you have like a really tall, like a bridge, backwards N and an H. Woo. Can you spell that out or like phonetically, like how I would pronounce it in English? I don't know if you have a translator app or you just know English really well, but that name is intense. Bulgarian? Yeah, I said Russian. I don't, again, come on. I don't know. I just saw that pop up and I want to, the hat-like character is a D. Okay, so then the hang and hang. That's not helping me. Delaney Lynn? Is that the name? Delaney? Really? How is that? Okay, cool. All right, I'll take it. All right. Well, thank you for the comment, Delaney. Why didn't you just put that then? Would it have to be en the hand and hand? Oh God. It's Delaney. Well, cool. Thank you, Delaney. I appreciate it. That's a nice name. Are you a male or a female? Now remember, I'm looking and I just see the little YouTube. I don't see your avatar, so I don't know if you're a man or a woman. Delaney, I don't know if that's a man's name or a woman's name. Anyway, I'm just off the rail. Space case. Not surprising, obesity affects First Nations and indigenous populations heavily as well. Let's see. Yeah. You just done a full restart. You're not getting anything of what? Oh, now I do. There you go. So what was it? Page keeps freezing. Now we're good. We're good over here. We're all right. I see it fine. Daddy's live. Papa's live. We're good. I'm a lady. Well, hi, lady. Hello, Miss Lady. Step Brothers reference. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about elimination. So, thanks. People usually ignore me because they think I'm a creepy Russian man. Well, if you go around with your name looking like Anahan and Han, that's why. That says Delaney. Like the whole thing says Delaney, or is that last part Anahan? How does that say Delaney? That's epic. Going all the way. This is the first time in history we have had food abundance and we just aren't handling it right. Well, we're not handling social media right either. That's why everyone's depressed. Everyone's fucking lashing out online. We're learning how to communicate. We're learning how to communicate. And there's a lot of stuff we're figuring out. We have food in abundance. We have technology and communication in abundance. And think about information. You know, it's a great point. We've talked about this a lot, but I actually was on one of Joe Rogan's recent podcasts about communication, about thoughts. You know, we talk about hard drive space before. We talk about how many thoughts and cutting people off. I did a post on Instagram earlier about just shutting people out. And people ask me all the time, well, how do you make so much content? How do you deal with haters and negative? I just don't look at that shit. I mean, I get a lot of positivity on my content, but there are people that don't agree, which is fine. And there are people that are going to be fucking angry. That's fine too. You know, I'm just not going to address that. I don't focus on that. I can't make anything. There's never going to be any kind of content that I will make, even if I don't swear, even if I talk all nice and I tiptoe. There's always going to be someone that comes in and be like, this, nice beard, you fucking faggot. There's always going to be someone that comes in and just throws some stupid negativity. Even if I don't swear, even if I don't say anything bad, trust me, I've gotten it before, no matter what. So you be yourself. You be yourself. People like it. They don't like it. Fine. That's it. Totally fine. If you don't like it, that's fine. The great thing is there's about 1 billion YouTube channels to watch. There's 1 billion channels on TV. There's 1 billion things on Netflix, 1 billion things on Hulu, on Amazon. Go do something else. You could even go outside and go for a walk. How about that shit? So it's cool. You have to shut it out. You have to shut it out. You have to cut it off. You have to ignore it. Otherwise, you're just going to absorb yourself and pay attention to every fucking comment, every fucking nuance. Now, the difference is I try to respond to a lot of comments. I try to engage as much as I can. YouTube is hard because there's so many damn comments, but that's why we do the Ask Papa Swole episodes and stuff like that on the main channel. And that's why we do the podcast, because I'm talking to all of you right now. So it's important to really have context with, you know, what effort you're putting in and what you're paying attention to. You can't be distracting yourself with bullshit. Robert, when I take my daughter's phone away, she withdraws. She withdraws or she has withdrawals? It's sad and weird. You mean she withdraws from communication or she has withdrawals? Like she's like, give me the phone, daddy. What do you mean by that? She withdraws? You said she withdrawals. I want to know if she has withdrawals or she withdraws from like being with the family and stuff. Maria Ezeko, our local college students studying nutrition would hold free nutrition classes at the local WIC and food stamp office. Very few, if any, show up and participate. Every time someone calls you a fag, just say, I'm fabulous in response. Alan just started a live feed. Cool. That's fine. Watch me or watch him. I don't give a shit. Start a live feed. Papa's always live. Papa's always fucking live. We're always making gains. So let's talk about, let's give you that class, that class that you might have missed at the WIC, that class that you might have missed, that nutrition class. Let's talk about the elimination diet right now. So drop in the comments below. Again, drop in the comments what you have eliminated. If you don't know what an elimination diet is, let's break this down. So rather than just talk about all this junk food that kids are eating, all the stuff that you shouldn't be eating, we talked about Popeye's chicken. Don't pull a gun at a restaurant. Don't put a gun. Calling Popeyes a restaurant is really being kind. Don't pull a gun anywhere unless you have to, unless you fucking have to. The elimination diet is my recommended place to start. I had someone drop in the comments a little while ago, what are my thoughts on the carnivore diet? It's very interesting. It's very interesting, just like the vegan diet. They're two extremes. However, when you do a carnivore diet, for those that don't know, it's literally only meat and animal products. Okay? You're not consuming a lot of spices, maybe just salt. You're not consuming any herbs because those are plants. It's carnivore. you're eating animal products. However, when you do a proper carnivore diet, and this is, putting in quotes, right? Because this is not really long-term studied. There are a lot of anecdotes, but a lot of people find a lot of success. It's an extreme elimination diet. So when you're doing a proper carnivore diet, you're eating nose to tail, organ meats, and all these things. So you're getting a lot of the nutrients that you would get from other products. You are getting those micronutrients that you would get from plants and stuff like that. And a lot of people have great success. And a lot of people have also reported success with being a vegan. Fine, totally fine. So where's the best place to start? How do you know what's best? The reason why a lot of people fail and fall short with diets is because they go and they stick within the lines of one specific dogma or dogmatic approach. They go vegan and then they just, I need to lose weight. I'm going vegan. So then all of a sudden they cut out all animal products and all this, that, and the other, or plant-based, whatever you want to call it. Maybe they're not full-blown vegan, but they're not eating animal products, or they're vegetarian, they're still eating eggs, ovo-lacto vegetarian, who knows, right? So you go extreme and you can't necessarily maintain it. What happens, and the reason why people kind of like bow out of diets, is that all of a sudden they go from something that's unrestricted, okay, to doing something that's completely restricted if you want to stay within those parameters. And people are progressive. People are very, very progressive. It's very hard for the average person. Again, we're talking average, trying to help as many people as possible. There are always those outliers that will go to the gym and just maybe respond to weights a lot quicker. There are a lot of people that will just start cycling or swimming, and they're naturally just going to be a lot better at swimming than another person, right? Everyone's got their strengths. But most people are progressive with their habits. Most people are progressive with their habits. In other words, you need to systematically, one step at a time, increase your habitual severity. And what that means is maybe when you are changing your diet, a better way is to systematically, slowly make those habitual changes, not like a Band-Aid or like a light switch right off. And a lot of people can't hang with that because in your body, your gut microbiome, like your whole body, your whole system, your taste buds, whatever you want to believe or whatever you're aware of with your gut microbiome, everything is revolving around whatever you're eating right now. Your body is only revolving, surviving, handling what you're eating right now. It only knows what you eat. Your body doesn't know what it doesn't eat. It knows what it eats. It's adapted to what you eat. It's making fuel based off what you eat. It's handling all body processes based on what's going in your mouth hole. So if you all of a sudden switch it 180 degrees, what are you doing to your body? You're stressing the fuck out of it. You're going to have a lot of issues with your palate. You're going to have a lot of issues with your digestion. You're going to have a lot of issues with that severe change. If you go, let's say if I go from eating a high fat diet, meaning a lot of fat, a lot of animal fats, a lot of grass-fed beef and bone broth and stuff. What if I all of a sudden go raw vegan? That is a flip of a switch that's so extreme. I am going to have bloating probably. I'm going to have a lot of fucking issues with just the taste of foods, my skill in preparing meals, and just my satisfaction is going to be fucking miserable with that kind of a switch. A lot of it has to be slow and, methodical. Some people can do it. Some people have done it. Like people that quit cigarettes, like, hey, I've been smoking for 30 years. Boom, cold turkey. Or as I say, frozen grass-fed beef. Like boom, cold turkey, done. And some people need to really ease into it over a longer period of time. So some people like to just dive in and can hang, but that's not always the best way because a diet and your way of eating needs to be something that is sustainable. It doesn't matter what you do, whether it's paleo, keto, vegan. If you can't maintain your nutritional plan, if you can't be consistent, then it's not going to work out for you because you're going to always have cravings. You're going to be slacking. You're going to be skipping things. You're not going to be on track. It has to be something that you are able to maintain for an extended period of time. And for example, I assume your name is Dehan. Is that a soft J? Quote, I had diarrhea for 2 weeks when I started keto. That's really common when you start upping the fats like that. It's very common to have like digestion issues, things also called like the keto flu when you feel maybe headaches and maybe stuffy nose, runny nose, and things like that. It's called keto flu when your body is going through that systemic shift because you're forcing your body into a different method of generating energy because net carbohydrates aren't present. So your body has definitely a limited supply of glycogen, glucose, what it might be used to. So it has to shift the method in which it's getting energy. I'm not going to get into all the fucking nitty gritty of it, but your body is going to be focused more on blood ketones and metabolizing fats than obviously using glucose and glycogen for energy sources. So your body prefers fat or carbohydrates, not protein, for energy. Your body will use all three, but your body will primarily want to go for fats and carbs. And I personally like a high fat diet. I don't like a lot of carbohydrates in my diet. I prefer higher fat, more low, moderate carbohydrates. But I've thought about it. I've kicked around the idea of doing carnivore, but I've never wanted to because I love watermelon. I love fruit, and I don't have issues, I mean, if I eat a whole fucking watermelon, I'm going to have diarrhea just because I'm just going to, shit, pooping out seeds and stuff like that. You start pissing out your asshole if you just eat a whole watermelon. Was it I forget what it is inside watermelon. I mean, it's a ton of water, but there's something else in watermelon that makes you, if you eat too much of it. But I don't know if I could give that up. And it's not like I necessarily have to. I think it's more important to do things like a carnivore diet if you have existing health issues. But it's an extreme elimination diet. You're cutting out every possible inflammatory or sensitivity that you could possibly have. You're cutting out everything. Everything. You're cutting out absolutely everything. And that's one of the best ways to figure out. That's an extreme elimination diet. You don't have to go that far, but an elimination diet is a few to several weeks of cutting out all the foods that could be a potential harm to your body. And what I mean by harm, I don't mean that you take it and you break out in a massive rash. But some of you deal with eczema or you deal with, skin conditions or you have migraines. Like if you have chronic bloating, if you have chronic migraines, if you have chronic joint pain, if you feel fatigued all the time, if you have trouble sleeping, if you have trouble recovering from workouts, if you're seeing strength decreases, if you have any of these fucking issues, this is like why the elimination diet is important. That's why the elimination diet is important because you can systematically figure out without spending thousands of dollars on all these tests and have people tell you one thing and have someone else tell you another thing. You can, and guessing just by trying different diets, you can systematically figure out which foods are best for you. That's very simple. And then after you determine which foods your body reacts best to, then you can figure out, okay, what's my optimal lifestyle? So if you know that foods A, B, C, and D don't work for you, and they're all animal-based foods, maybe it's the quality. So then you can try maybe grass-fed beef and that doesn't work for you. Okay, maybe that doesn't work. Let me try fish more. Oh, I like fish. Okay, maybe fish. So it's just literally trying. But when you clear the palate and you clear the playing field and you level everything out with an elimination diet, then when you are testing things, you're able to see your actual body's reaction. When you're consuming, it's like having a scientific study where you're trying to account for 100 variables. You can't. Because every little subtle tweak, you don't know if you're eating everything that you normally do. Oh, but I have migraines. You don't know what's causing it because you're just eating everything. It could be any of the culprits. It's like the game Clue. You guys remember that? Remember that. So it's like Clue. It's like, who is it? Is it Mr. Mustard? Is it Colonel Fuck It All? Who is it? Who killed it? Who's the culprit? You don't know what the culprit is if you're eating everything. Okay? If you have everything in your diet, you cannot determine what exactly it is. Now, when you eliminate things, then you can start figuring stuff out. And that's why the elimination diet's important. If that leads you down the road to veganism, okay, cool, go do it. If you like to maintain that, if you feel best on it, whatever diet you feel best on, that's going to be something that you're going to maintain. And you're probably going to want to do that. If you feel great being a vegan, shocker why people want to be a vegan. Fine. If you feel amazing, you're going to want to keep eating that way. If you feel like shit, it's going to be miserable. And I'm not talking about, hey, I tried this diet for a week and I felt like shit. That doesn't count. I tried keto for 2 weeks and I felt like shit. That doesn't count. Like you have to be on it for an extended period of time to actually determine that. And also it's how you did it. Did you do it properly? Were you eating the best foods? Were you getting sleep? Were there other factors? So it's very important to recognize the time frame and how it was carried out. So it's very easy to demonize carnivore or veganism because you can do both wrong. You can absolutely do that. You shouldn't be just fucking going carnivore and just eating London broil all the time. You need high quality food and you need nose to tail. You need to be eating a lot of organ meats and things that will provide you with those nutrients you're going to be missing because you're not consuming those other, let's say, plant products, which maybe those might be causing you issues, but you still have essential nutrients, vitamins, and minerals that you need. And that's why is that? People just don't want to put in that kind of time. People don't want to put in that kind of effort. People don't want to put in that kind of, systematic approach. Most people hated science class. Most people don't think they have control. Most people don't think they have the power to make those decisions. Everyone's looking for an answer. Everyone's coming to me. What should I eat? Why don't you figure it out? Here's the framework of how to figure it out. Oh, but that's so hard. But what should I eat when on this? Take those foods that you're approved on with the Elimination platform and then fucking Google it and figure out some recipes. Eat these foods. Go. Doing a carnivore is just a very extreme elimination because then, and if you do carnivore, it doesn't mean you have to be on it forever. You can do that for an extreme elimination and then you can add foods back in and then you'll see how your body reacts to them. A lot of people are very shocked. How many of you did elimination or did an elimination diet and you were like surprised at the severity of your symptoms? Or when you came back and you ate something and you felt like fucking shit? How many of you had that experience? And a lot of times that's what it takes. You don't really understand the impact of foods the impact that food has on your body until you do it. That's one of the reasons why it's important, because it's easy for me to say, oh, you'll have bloating. Okay, fine. Okay, this. Most people don't realize how well their body adapts to foods that your body doesn't react well to. Your body actually builds up defense mechanisms to handle it. If you're always eating a food that makes you bloated, you're going to get used to that bloating feeling. Your body is going to get used to protecting itself against that bloating. It's going to be used to dealing with it. So you're going to get used to that feeling. It's like having chronic pain. Eventually that chronic pain becomes background noise. You don't notice it as much. But then all of a sudden you remove dairy, and let's say dairy was the culprit. Dairy or whatever dairy you were consuming was not working out well for you. All of a sudden you bring it back in, and then all of a sudden you feel bloated, you have a migraine, you feel like shit. Holy crap. Holy crap. I shouldn't be consuming that. But it's like a light switch. Oh, that's why it's so important. And then you probably make better decisions, but that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. Talking so much gets me thirsty, gets me parched. Fam, I think it's time for a water break. Drink your water, bitches. It's time to get moist. Agreed. Good shit. Everyone gets their daily chug in there. Good stuff. Mama Carnivore. I used to eat a lot of processed junk and didn't realize that it was really hurting me until I tried to eat Doritos recently. You tried. I struggled to eat a Dorito. I lifted it to my mouth, but to no avail. And I literally threw up and felt like trash for the rest of the day. Ooh. Are you actually a carnivore? Because that would really jack you up if you haven't had anything but meat for a while. Let's see. Dairy kills me. I went without it, then reintroduced it. My hands swelled. My sinuses were horrible. I also had stomach pain and overall horrible. No more dairy. Yeah. A lot of people go to these extremes. I don't think it's necessarily, look, the biggest one now is, vegan, also keto. I didn't like keto long term. I think generally one of the better ways to consume is definitely high fat in my experience. High fat, low moderate protein, and low moderate carbohydrates. Like, you don't need that much. I mean, I get most of my carbohydrates. I get some from fruit, but I try to keep it to like sweet potatoes and some fruit. I don't do, net carbohydrates when I talk about vegetables and fiber. But, one of the things that's interesting is when you're eating animal products and you're actually getting a well-rounded approach to animal products, if you're getting organ meats, if you're eating, let's say, heart or liver, things like that, you're getting so much, you feel so good. It's such a powerful food source. And I know it probably sounds gross to people because we're so disconnected from hunting. We're so disconnected from our food. It sounds gross, and we're used to Disney movies and animals having names and talking in English and shit like that. That's a huge fucking problem. It's a huge problem that human beings were so disconnected from our food sources. That's why we demonize that so much. And oh, it's so bad for you. If you didn't have a supermarket, you wouldn't be going out fucking, picking grass from the field. You'd be out eating animals. You'd be out hunting. You'd be out fucking hunting. Hunting. Like, you're not going to get enough nutrients in nature, just in the wild, just gathering fucking nuts and seeds. You're going to fucking starve. Like, you hunt animal products. When the winter comes, what are you going to eat? Grass, leaves, fruit? There are none. You have to hunt. You got to hunt. Hunt. So I don't think it's wrong. I don't think anything's wrong. If you find something that we have the ability to have a lot more customization with our nutrition than any time before. So we have the ability to go vegan. It's because of technology. We have the ability to opt to not consume that. We have the ability to have supplements that might supplement nutrient deficiencies. We have the ability to do those things. So we're just finding out now which way is maybe the best, whether it's performance or longevity. We're still figuring it out, and what genetic factors. And I'm not an expert in genetics and what you might be predisposed to, but I do know that some people metabolize fats better. Everyone's a little bit different. So if you can't stick to, if you're like, oh my God, I couldn't just eat only meat. Well, you could if you probably had to, but if not, it's like, what are you gonna do? If we were all vegan, someone might pull a gun out for a mango. Touche. I got a notice from YouTube that they're taking off YouTube messaging. What's YouTube messaging? Can you send messages on YouTube? I don't even know about it. YouTube is a very poor social platform. It's good for posting videos and comments and stuff, but YouTube stories is it's almost worthless. Down. Natasha. I recently sent off some of my hair for an intolerance test to see why I was so bloated, to take the guesswork out of eliminating. Or you're a little bit, didn't want to do it yourself. Turns out I'm dairy intolerant. Goodbye dairy, whey, and yogurts. Coconut yogurt. Or just don't eat white slop. Why do you need? You get no value from coconut yogurt. I've never even heard of coconut yogurt. Someone sent me a message. Have you ever tried banana milk? No. How do you fucking make milk from? You can't make milk from all these things. Just who wants to drink almond milk? Just soak these nuts in water. Okay. Yeah, let me drink this nut milk. Pass on getting zero fucking value and having to drink white water. The fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Scrolling up a little bit. Oh, I'm old in the comments. I'm scrolling down. My parents ate tongue and tripe. Tongue is a muscle, not an organ. I wonder what does beef tongue have in it? I've seen it. I've almost purchased it, but I'm like, I don't even know how to prepare this. I agree with this. Look, we live in a society where we can find the foods that suit our needs. So we have all these options, which is why we have all these popular fad diets. But if that didn't exist, we would have to eat what we were able to eat. And people wouldn't be able to be like, oh, I'm a vegan. I don't want any animal products. It'd be like, you want to eat this or you're going to fucking die. Okay, fine. We've never had the ability to be vegan before because that's not how we evolved. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here if we only ate fucking grass and shit. That kind of wording always pisses off vegans. We don't eat grass. Well, I guess I'm a vegan. My food is vegan. So I'm just teasing about that, but you know what I mean? Because of seasons and shit. And a lot of plants are toxic. Nut milk. You can't milk a cat. What was that from Meet the Parents? Little nipples. I got nipples, Greg. Could you milk me? Could you imagine if a caveman said, I'm a vegan in a lispy voice? Why does that always have to sound better? Why does it have to be a lispy voice? I'm a vegan. You can't be lispy with those vowels. I'm a vegan. I've always been a vegan. You have to have an S to have that lisp. Do I eliminate nightshades? Do I personally? I don't consume a lot of them. Like tomatoes, eggplant, what else? White potatoes. What else are nightshades? Peppers? Bell peppers or red peppers? How long do you wait after introducing a new food? You mean how long do you wait to introduce a new food? I would recommend 4 to 6 weeks. But some people do it for 2 or 3 weeks. But the longer the better. Like 4 weeks is good. But then after you consume it, so in other words, like let's say you're eating foods that your body reacts well to and you're testing X, Y, and Z foods. So you have one of those foods, let's say on a Monday, but then you go back to your regular eating without that food for Tuesday and Wednesday and you observe the effects. A lot of people think that if you eat something that doesn't work for you, you're going to feel it in that moment. Not necessarily. You might feel bloating right away. Okay. You might feel fine, but then the next day you feel sluggish or you wake up and you feel like hungover. There are a lot of those effects too because it stays in your system. Your body has to digest it. Sometimes you have like a quick reaction and you'll notice it right away. Some people eat foods and, oh my God, I feel like shit right after. But sometimes it takes a little bit of time. It could take 24 or 48 hours. So once it gets through your system, it depends on what the effects are. It depends on what the impact is and what like the other issues that you're going to feel are. Well, if we actually hunted, we would eat the entire animal. We would eat the whole fucking thing. But your body will adapt to like spices and shit. That's just what you're used to. That's habit. People don't have like natural cravings. I just love spicy. You'll build up to it. If you eat spicy foods, your body will adapt to it. Because that same way with me. I used to eat spicy foods. I used to get chicken wings, right? Years ago, eat chicken wings like super spicy, like, you know, super, super hot, like whatever the hottest they had at the restaurant was. Like I enjoy that kind of like discomfort. But then after cleaning up all my shit over the past 10, 15 years, like spice doesn't take much for it to be plenty for me. Doesn't take much for it to be plenty, like more than enough. Doesn't take much. If you can outrun the saber tooth, you could be a vegan. Well, you might have to fight it, kill it, and then eat it. It's all good though. It's all good. Look, if you want to be a vegan, totally cool. I think the best approach for anyone, especially people that are doing online training or do online coaching or any of that sort, just to tell people this is what you should be eating. Hey, eat these foods without doing elimination. You're doing that person a disservice. That's the problem with the fitness industry is everyone handing out fucking diet plans. Here, eat this. Here, eat this. Everyone should be doing an elimination diet or seeing their doctor, nutritionist, blah, blah, blah. But that costs money. A lot of doctors and nutritionists don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But an elimination diet is very simple and everyone can do it. You just have to put some effort into it and pay attention and keep a little journal and like, you know, mark down what you feel and test it out that way. But you can figure this stuff out. But so many people, but I don't want to give up milk, but I want to give up this. Okay, then don't fucking learn about your body. Then always wonder, then don't complain about, well, how come I have this little extra fat? I just can't get rid of it. And I do this. Then don't complain. You can't complain at all about your nutrition if you don't do an elimination diet and you don't do it properly. Because if you're willingly not gathering information, if you're voluntarily not putting effort into figuring this shit out, then okay, so what am I going to tell you? What am I going to tell you? But I don't feel good with this, but I don't feel good with that. Have you done an elimination diet? No. Okay, so go do that. But do that. Do that. But I don't want to give up bread. No one cares. I don't give a fuck. Then don't give up bread and then still feel like shit and still have questions and how come this, how come that, okay? That's it. I hate all milks, but I put soy. I stay away from soy like it's a fucking disease. I don't drink soy. Stay away from that shit. Personally. No way. No way. I believe it. Actually, if someone's pulling out a gun on Popeyes, I believe it. Nicholas, I have a problem with vegans because I saw a news article about a vegan trying to sue her neighbors due to a barbecue. Look at this entitled bullshit. Fuck that person. I'd barbecue every fucking day if she sued me. I would barbecue every fucking day. Fuck you. What a bitch. We used to eat other humans for survival or religious reasons, like how do you season your neighbor's leg? Paprika? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, if you want to be a vegan, fine. Don't sue me for barbecuing. Oh, God. Shorty Love 87, my 9-year-old son and I have severe acid reflux. I would like to include him on an elimination diet with me. Is there anything I should do differently with him due to his age? You're going to have to refer to a medical professional. I'm not qualified to speak on youth nutrition, but I personally would say probably not if you're eating wholesome foods. An elimination diet doesn't mean you're cutting out essential nutrients. You're still eating quality foods. You're just testing things. If you have, an elimination and nutrition, here's a good way to think of it. A nutrition plan and to figure out what is optimal for you, it's more about what you get rid of than what you add. It's not like, hey, if I add this, I'm going to feel better. It's more about taking away the things that are causing problems. So if you have nasty acid reflux, what are you actually eating? And I can make some suggestions. Just when someone asks live on a show, like, hey, my 9-year-old son, I got to tread lightly for legal reasons. It's not, I don't want to be like, no, it's fine. If he has any contraindications or any issues of which I don't know, you might want to check with his pediatrician or something. But I don't think that there should be. But again, you should check that in case. That was Joe Rogan's bit, the vegan cat thing. It's fucked up. That's fucked up to force a cat. But it's the same thing. why are you forcing a cat to be a vegan? They're carnivores. Okay. So why are we forcing humans to be vegan? Or like, I don't know. People are also confusing surviving on a diet with thriving on a diet. There's a lot of misconceptions there. So human beings, we're obviously omnivores, so we can eat both things and we can handle things to an extent. What makes us the most successful in all areas is still up for debate and discussion. Bel Perez, we got a vegan in the house. Let's see. As a vegan, I am not happy to be compared with those insane biches being unreasonable and plain full of shit. Some of us don't give a shit what other people do and just do ours. Those are the vegans that I like. That's what I say. I said there's a bunch of vegans here in this community. You just don't have to be a psychotic lunatic vegan. Don't be a lunatic. Don't be a lunatic. Don't be a fucking psychopath. That's fine. It's the same thing with religion. If you're trying to convert people, you're kind of a piece of shit. It's like, fuck, if someone wants what you have, they come to you. Like here, I'm doing a broadcast. If you don't want to watch this, there's the door or there's another video and you can click on that. If you want to stay, it's cool. If you don't like what I have to say, it's cool. I have my opinions. You don't have to, you can be a vegan. I think if you do an elimination and you figure out that that's optimal for you, then that's what you do. But I think just to go from 0 to 100, that's why a lot of people just fucking, that's why a lot of people fall off. A lot of people can't stick to that shit. A lot of people just can't stick to that shit. The vast majority I've encountered in person and online are militant vegans. I've seen a lot of those too. Just don't go to any parades or marches and stuff like that. Those are going to be, you get run over. It's very similar when you get to that kind of level of extreme. It's very similar to the health at every size. It's very similar to fat acceptance. It's very similar to that type of movement because people get very defensive and aggressive if you disagree with them. And it's fine to have your opinions. It's fine to have your beliefs, as I do. And I'm going to voice my opinion, but really, deep down, I do not care if that's what you do. I'm here to voice my opinion. I'm here to provide some different ways of thinking. And I certainly don't have all the answers, but I have my experiences of myself and my members, clients, and people that I've seen and have, in touch with. And I have seen people that seem to be successful on a vegan or vegetarian diet, which is fine. I mean, I've also seen people and more people that do not look well, more people that have not had success, many more than that do. But that doesn't mean that those people that do have success shouldn't be doing it because obviously it's working for them. If it's not working for you, either one, you didn't do it properly, or two, it's just not something that works for your lifestyle and for your preferences because we're all programmed from when we're younger. We're all programmed a certain way and we're exposed to certain things. That's why when you're a child, and if your parents are giving you a lot of junk food, it's not setting you up for success in the best way because it's predisposing you to those types of sugar responses, right? To those types of cravings. That's why when you cut a food out that is highly addictive, you crave it because your body just wants that stimulus and it doesn't find it. You don't find that kind of sugar stimulus in an apple. Like, oh, I don't like an apple. But you want candy, you want soda because the concentrated sugar and the type of sugar and the artificial flavorings are so much more impactful to your tongue and to your brain than the actual piece of fruit. So it's just training, it's habit and training. When you eat better, again, I stopped eating so much spicy food. Now I'm really sensitive to spicy like toppings and foods that are spicy because I don't consume it. It's a habit. I've resensitized my body to those types of foods. So it takes a lot less for it to taste and to feel spicy than it did maybe 20 years ago when I was eating a lot more of it. And it's just training. It's just training, like literally, habitualizing your body to it. Those vegan cats will eat their owners first chance they get. Yeah, now that school has started, I can't tell you how many kids I see eating junk food on their way to school. And this is why it's a problem because you're starting kids off on the path of this is a cycle. When you're eating junk food as a kid, it usually leads into adulthood. And when you can make your own decisions, you have a car, you have transportation, you have money, you tend to keep on making those bad decisions. And you don't get education from your parents. You don't get education about this on TV. Hopefully kind of break through here on YouTube, but there's so much more of these mukbangs and garbage foods and shit on TV, on commercials, Netflix, fucking here on YouTube, pre-roll ads. It's all for junk. It's all for fucking junk. When you go to school, you have the candy machines, you have fast food at every corner, you have gas stations, 7-Eleven. It's just everywhere. So when you're a kid and you start getting a little bit more autonomy, it's just, wait, where are you going to go to Whole Foods? Let me go to Whole Foods and get some dried fruit. You're going to go to fucking 7-Eleven and get a Snickers bar or something, or get a Mountain Dew or get an energy drink or a Bang drink, some bullshit like that. Well, the vegan movement is more of a religion than it is like for nutrition. So, I mean, you can be plant-based. That's why a lot of people associate themselves, they say plant-based because vegan is, I don't use, my shoes are vegan. They're not made of leather. They're not made of this. No animals were harmed during the making of this cup, shit, fucking shit like that. That's what vegan is. So that's why it's a little bit more extreme because they take it to that extreme. But, you don't have to go that fucking far. You don't have to be that. You don't have to be militant. You don't have to be a psycho. You can believe in God, but you don't have to be a hardcore born again Christian. It's like the same thing. You don't have to promote it and try to push people into it. Yeah, I saw that video that Michelle made about the woman. It was like 98 or something like that. So it's really old content, but it's an important message. It just goes to show like this is nothing new. Yeah. Did I see Tiana G 8 months pregnant with a bang in her hand? No, who's Tiana? Who's that? Is that Instagram? Was she drinking it or was she holding it? I don't know who that is. Is that an Instagram person? Let's bring it up. Who's Tiana G? That sounds familiar. Oh, here it is. Tiana Gregory. Who is this person? Holy shit. 4.1 million followers. I don't eat animals. I don't eat animals, but I eat bang. What is this? Why is she doing nude selfies? Oh, this chick is a piece of work, isn't she? Oh, it's one of these pages. What is this trash? Is she pregnant, though? You know what's really funny is I have a video on Bang that I might post either tomorrow or the next day. I've already have it edited. Yeah, I'll bring this up right now. I don't know if this is... Was this when she was pregnant? It doesn't look like she's pregnant here. This could be a really old picture. I don't follow any of her content, so literally is like my first foray. Like, she doesn't look pregnant in any of these. So she just posts nudes and stuff. Figures that Bang will find her. I don't think she's pregnant in this picture. This looks like an old picture, period. Well, maybe she is pregnant. I mean, she might not be drinking it. I don't know if the can is open. Who cares? It was old. Yeah. Well, it definitely doesn't send a good message. It definitely raises the eyebrow, but that's probably the reason. Hey, we'll give you $5,000 to post this. Okay. I'll hold a can. People don't give a shit. She just had a kid a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it doesn't look like she... Well, we all know how she makes the Benjamins. I don't know what she does aside from show her ass and her tits. Yeah, nothing like nudes when you're pregnant. That's what we all want to see. But pregnant women are sexy. They're beautiful. To their husbands. Oh, everyone just got offended. I'm just kidding. Husbands don't like that either. Oh, people get offended. I'm just joking. Well, that's why we're all here. We're here because women gets the pregnants. You ladies go through some shit, don't you? Fuck. It's crazy. You ladies are intense. You got periods. You have to carry children. Ladies are beasts, which is why women have a higher pain tolerance, which is why I've always said my entire career, since I started doing training, women train harder. Women can train so much harder than men. Women are fucking animals. If you get a woman that trains hard, they can fucking push. I used to train my female clients like fucking animals. I think it seems like women just want it more. I think it could just be because of society standards. It could just be because they're trying to, but man, women fucking train hard. I was always impressed by that. How hard I could push my female clients. They work their ass off, literally. No periods or fuck trophies. What does that mean? What's a fuck trophy? Yeah, is that like the AVN awards? No, I felt fat and gross when I was pregnant. Well, you felt that way. Doesn't mean you were. I was a fat, sweaty, bitchy whale when I was pregnant. See, everyone's like, see, all the women, that's what's crazy when I make these videos. Everyone's like, you're picking on women. It's like, fuck. I'm saying what men don't want to say and what women do say. Women are more savage against women than men are. Women are savages. You ladies are animals. You ladies are fucking animals. Bum, bum. We don't all have to have kids. Fuck that shit. Well, I agree with that. No, you don't all have to have kids. I don't know. I don't have any. I could have one. I know I could. I could do it. I'm not really scared about having a kid. It's more about like, I really see when you don't have a kid, you have perspective. You lose that perspective once you have a child because you have no choice. You have to make yourself believe that you're glad you had kids. But once when you don't have it, you have that outsider's perspective like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Especially because I don't have to. There's no law. I don't have to. You have to repopulate the species. Papa Swole, you must reproduce. No, I don't. I don't has to. Anyway, no little Swolios? Not right now. I got one right here. Look at that. Oh, she alive? Let me check. Oh, she's passed the fuck out. Look at that little sexy beach. Yeah, that's my beach. There we go. Up. There we go. Almost lost that. Almost clipped the cord there. Well, there's a little four-legged hairy thing. She loves that pillow. I always try to get her like lay in front of the pillow so you can actually get like a full shot. But she's just she's always on top of it. Crazy beach. I have zero regrets waiting till I was in my 30s and even then one and done. Well, I'm 30 thinking 36. That's right. I just turned 36. That's right. Yay. They are my investment for old age. What, so they can take care of your ass? According to Cheetos, what, Brittany Dawn? Yeah, she goes, on second thought, you shouldn't say have a woman. I'm like, bitch, you crazy. I didn't cheat on my significant other. Oh, snap. Shots fired. That was a funny time. We'll check back in with her in a little bit. We'll see how she's doing. Always got to check back in with Brittany. You run around the house naked when you don't have kids. True that. Absolutely true that. True that, son. True that. I do podcasts naked. I'm naked right now. How do you know? You don't know. You don't know. You don't see. I'm just hanging dong right now. That's the fucking Daily Swole. Anyway, a lot of nutrition talk, a lot of kids talk, a lot of fun talk here, a lot of Popeye's gun talk. Anyway, we can go down that rabbit hole, but we shall. We shall tomorrow. Let's see. Tomorrow is Thursday. What we got going on? Thursday. We got some shit going on. New video coming tomorrow morning, so make sure you check that out. And let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'm going to be blowing you all up. I'm going to be blowing you all up on Instagram too. If you don't follow me over there, go check out the Daily Swole on Instagram, posting clips, and also, of course, the main channel, Swolenormous, everywhere. And if you're interested in checking out more in terms of the blog, apparel, programs, and memberships and stuff, go to swolenormousx.com. We'll talk tomorrow. Of course, I'll be here for episode 1217 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you tomorrow for 1217. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swolio. Oh, out.